My name is Vahid Chitsaz, part of the Elite Mastermind group. Thank you for being with us on our live session. You're very active about Think and Grow Rich and Napoleon Hill's philosophies. And oh, see, you got the same. I don't know. For some reason, I like this purple color. It looks good. It feels good.
Purple is my favorite color. It looks.
Yeah. So this is the color. I never read this one. I never read this one. I got the other versions, but I kind of got it. It kind of looks good, so I figured I should have it. So yeah, that's what I'm having.
Great.
How did you start with Think and Grow Rich, and how are you utilizing it today?
So I received this book as a gift, and I read it 3 times already. In here I have highlighted. Right now I'm on my 3rd time reading it. So it's really opened my eyes on a different way to look at your goals, a different way to look at your daily life, and a different way to just look at business, personal, everything. So it really has taken my outlook to really change, even down to the people I surround myself with. So I think it's a fantastic book. Everybody should read it.
Definitely. So when you originally started reading Think and Grow, first of all, you got to go back and thank the person who sent you that as a gift.
I did.
You should buy him a lot of gifts, right? But just to be specific and practical, what are a couple of things that you realized that you were not doing, or a few things that you wanted to start applying in your life or your business when you initially started reading the book? What were the couple of things that popped out to you?
So I would probably say being specific. That was my number one thing, because you say you want to have a lot of money, or in my industry, you want to make a lot of sales. And I think that's the problem with everybody, is they're not specific enough. So that was my number one, is to really put a number, put a time frame, put a specific goal in place so it can be achievable.
So what if I set a goal and I don't hit it? Then what do I do? Wouldn't that be considered as a disappointment?
No, it just means that maybe you didn't give yourself enough time.
So let's say, okay, so I give it 3 months and I still don't hit the quota that I put for myself. Then what do I do?
I would put more time, because you will hit it. Maybe that 3-month quota wasn't enough. Maybe you weren't focused enough, doing the right things every day, inch by inch, getting to that goal. So if you give yourself maybe a year, maybe 3 years to still achieve it, then you might achieve it.
So, okay. So why is it that individuals that are in sales need to be specific? I mean, I could say a lot and just leave it open-ended and just get a lot of sales.
Yeah.
Last month, let's say I did 10 sales. When I say a lot, maybe I'll hit 15, maybe I'll hit 20. Why is it important to be specific?
It's important to be specific because the universe energy doesn't know any better. So if you just say, oh, I want a lot of sales, a lot could be 2. What's a lot? So the more specific you are, the better the universe and the energy will be given to you, because now you can track, you can measure, you can really say, you know what, my goal was to have 25 sales this week, and that goal has been achieved. Now let's go to the next week and let's double that, or whatever it is. So if you're not specific, then you're just really not even going to have a goal, because what is that goal if it's not specific?
Got it. So what was the second thing that you got out of the book that you think is important for people to kind of implement if they're in sales or business?
The second thing I would have to say is truly believing in yourself. And that's where the chapter on faith comes out, because, faith is very interesting. People think it has to do with religion, things like that, but it's really faith within yourself, that even if you don't achieve it, like you said, in 3 months, what about 3 years? How come you're already putting that goal out? It's that it's going to be done. Like, one of the goals that I have is that I will definitely fly private. I want to fly private. I never want to fly commercial again. Nothing wrong with
That's a good goal. That's a very nice goal to have. That's awesome. I mean, I like to do that. I don't know. I'm not a maybe one day I'll change my mind. I don't know, but I don't know. I just like the people. I like to see the surround. I don't know. I just like it. I mean, except the TSA check in and check out. That part I don't like, where I almost got to get naked and they search everything. Like that part I don't enjoy.
Right.
But and if you want to get the what is it, the check mark thing, it takes, you got to show up to the office. It takes like
I just want to
I
drive
got to do
up,
that.
drive
Yeah,
up.
I gotta do that. I I have an issue with going over there and time. I got so much stuff going on, but the rest of it is just like I like the scene environment. I like the airports. I like to see how people are interacting. I saw, you know, they got their family. They got all their, like, I don't know. To me, that part is like still exciting for me. I get to go to the airport.
Well,
I like.
that's good. Hey, everybody has different goals. That's why we're all individuals. But I know.
So let me ask you a question. So if I go tell my daughter that you're planning on going to a private school, but you're planning on going on this year, but I need 3 more years to make the money, do you think that's going to be okay? Sometimes we got to put the goals and we got to put deadlines, and it's like do or die. You got to hit
You have
it.
to be realistic. You got to put
Do you
realistic.
have to be realistic? I mean, is it realistic for everybody to go private?
No. That's why my goal isn't to go private next week.
Okay, so all right. So that would have been a good one, huh? You put it out in the universe, you never know. So okay, so as far as your timeline, how many years did you give yourself before you go private?
My timeline is it was sooner, to be quite honest with you, and I didn't achieve it. So I'm giving myself 10 years.
10 years. Okay, so it is a long, I would say it's not a short term or midterm, it's like a long term goal.
Short term, because there's a lot that goes into that whole dream. You know, I want to be able to buy houses and do whatever I want to do, but I have to set myself up for that. And I've come to the conclusion that I set myself up for unrealistic dreams. And unfortunately, I didn't achieve them. So I have to say, okay, this time frame didn't work. So now let's put a different time frame on it. So what you're talking about is having, 3 years for your child to go to school. That's a different type of situation from what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that one she needs to go. So that's going to be if
so
not, then my wife is going to have a unrealistic goal for me. So that needs to be there. So let me ask you a question. Why do you think individuals that are in business need to read books? Because that's one of the challenges that I've noticed lately, that a lot of people don't read as much as we did in the past. Now we're still consuming digital, audio, YouTube, this, we're still consuming it. But I still don't think if it's guided towards the right material. We're listening to a lot of things that may not be. Why do you think it's important? Why you read it 3 times? Like you could have been like a lot of other people, read it 1 time, say, okay, it sounded good, it looked good, but that's it. Why'd you go the 2nd and the 3rd time?
Because you read it differently every time. I'm a firm believer in a book. I like Audible. It's all nice and easy, but it's really different when your brain registers words. So I feel like if I want to read a chapter again, or if I just want to read a chapter in 3 months and highlight and circle and take notes and take a picture of it, or whatever the case may be. So for me, reading it has helped me with that. Now, reading it also at different times in your life, you interpret it differently. So I've read it my first time and I said, oh, okay, this all sounds great. And then now I'm reading it the 2nd time and now the 3rd time. And sometimes your goals change. So you sometimes are thinking too small in the beginning, and then you want to think bigger, and then you want to think more long term. And I think the purpose of this book is, we always start the new year fresh, new resolutions, new goals, new things like that. But what about the entire lifetime that you have to dedicate to this goal that you are trying to achieve? So it's really a difference with timing of where you are personally, and changing your goals to really even make them bigger and more challenging.
I agree with that. Now, do you have a waiting list that I can put my list on that private jet? I changed my mind. I don't want to go to airports anymore.
Good, yes.
Put
Well,
me,
you can
put me
definitely
on the list.
fly with me when I get
So, okay. So my final question is this. What is it that you do?
I'm in real estate. I have a real estate team in northern Metro New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey. That's a cool place. So tell us two things that we don't know about real estate.
Two things that you don't know about real estate. Well, real estate, in my opinion, is the best investment. No matter when, if you really hold on to that property, and it's a long-term investment. So, I mean, a lot of people are flipping houses. You can make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in a couple months. That doesn't happen for everybody, but long-term real estate is a fantastic investment. That's my first thing. My second thing is every single property will sell, no matter what price range, no matter what condition, and it always is about price and positioning it aggressively, and every property will sell. So those are my.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So how big is your team?
We have 3 people right now.
Is it mandatory for all of them to read Think and Grow Rich?
No, but I'm going to make it mandatory.
You just came up with that idea right now. You're like, that's a good suggestion. We should do it.
Yeah.
No, listen, we just launched our, I mean, I already announced it. I wasn't supposed to announce it. So, but we already launched our education page on Instagram. So we're very, very excited about that. And one of the key elements that I want to educate people is on financial literacy, just knowing what everything is. You don't have to invest in stocks. You don't have to buy a property. You don't have to go do this, do all of that stuff. You know, we're not talking about just putting your money in the bank, but you need to be educated on financial concepts that's available to you.
Yeah.
The fact that you have that education, it's very, very important. And a lot of people don't have that education. Just like you said, long term. A lot of people think real estate is going to make them billionaires overnight. You just said it. It's long term. So if you're not in it for long term, then don't get into that. So just the fact that we could give a lot of, informative information to people, I think their level of maturity as far as financial services will definitely go to a higher level, which they can make the right decisions. So if you have another meltdown, another crash, another this or another up, people can capitalize on that and watch. So we're definitely going to invite you on those channels, and I want to really get deep into real estate because I got a couple of very, very good friends that are into real estate, and I always love it when they interact with each other. They try to convince each other why that path and why this property is better versus that, a fourplex versus this. So I've been sitting on a very interesting conversation. So I want to bring that to everybody so they enjoy it. But listen, if you had to convince me why I should read this book, what would you say?
I would convince you because of how your brain works. And I feel like this book allows you to think differently, and it allows you to really be in control of your brain, and that's where your thoughts come from. So every day you wake up, you have breakfast, you work out, you do the thing, then you go to work, you have your day, but your thoughts control that entire day. And this book has changed my thoughts about my day, about my life, about my business, about making money, about personal life, about everything. So I feel like if you really want to be able to control your thoughts and make them go in a direction financially that you're looking for, then that's why you should read the book.
Thank you so much for sharing. We'll be doing this more often, and I definitely want to get your input on real estate, specifically what you've been doing and managing organization. I want to learn all that.
Yeah, I've been doing that since 2011. I sell a lot of houses. I've sold probably over 200 in my career. We are definitely very experienced in the foreclosure process, the short sale, really where it is to make money, where it is you don't want to make money. There's a lot to know. It's a lot of information. You got to make sure though that you have the right realtor telling you that, because there's a lot of people who do this part-time and they're not really fully into it. So you really want to make sure you're getting your information from a reputable source.
I love it. Thank you so much for taking this time out of your busy day. Hopefully we'll be in contact.
Sounds good.
Take care. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.